Hello, and welcome to a short video presentation on the SoftConsole Embedded Design Tool. Today, we are going to talk about how to create a SoftConsole design. Let's begin with a brief introduction of the SoftConsole Embedded IDE. SoftConsole is a free software development environment from Microchip. It is used in development of our soft CPUs and system-on-chip FPGAs, like our Smart Fusion 2 and PolarFire SoC families. SoftConsole uses consist of industry-standard open-source components for embedded software development, similar to GCC, GDB, and CPP, Check, etc. SoftConsole IDE runs on both Windows and Linux operating systems. It supports both ARM Cortex M3 and RISC-V processor cores. SoftConsole has Eclipse-based IDE, which is easy to use. It has open OCD support for debugging using JTAG interface. It has built-in support for Antmicro's Renode emulator. Renode is an open-source framework that allows for hardware and software co-development. It is used to build, debug, and test software for single-core and multi-core FPGA devices. Let's step through the SoftConsole embedded design flow. Step 1. Download and install SoftConsole IDE from the Microchip website, and launch it by double-clicking the SoftConsole icon on the desktop or download location. If prompted, create a new workspace and a new project. While SoftConsole is running, right-click the project icon and select Import to add the application source files. You have the option to import your application source file or use the example application programs in our firmware catalog. The firmware BSP source files have two categories: the HAL hardware abstraction layer and peripheral drivers. Download the HAL and driver files from the firmware catalog and import. Next, configure the project settings for building the executable in SoftConsole. These settings include folder paths, compiler, target processor settings, linker script path, optimization level, and output file format. Next, configure the debug settings for debugging the embedded project. Finally, build a version of the bare metal application. Now let's see those steps in real time using the SoftConsole tool. Launch the SoftConsole software. Select a workspace directory. You can choose the default path or give one of your choice. Here we are seeing Eclipse-based SoftConsole IDE. Please note that the workspace can contain more than one project. To create a new project, go to the File menu, click New, and then click Project. This will open a Project Wizard GUI. Under C++, click on the C project and click Next. In this window, enter a project name of your choice, and under Executables, select the Empty Project. On the right-hand side, select RISC-V Cross GCC as your toolchain, as we are building a RISC-V project core. Click Next twice. Keep the default settings and click Finish. This will create an empty project. To add files to the project, right-click the project in the Project Explorer pane and launch the Import Wizard. Select File System and click Next. Browse to the directory containing the application source code, HAL, and driver files. Click the checkbox next to the subfolders you wish to add to your project and click Finish. Your SoftConsole project will now contain the imported files. Now let's create a main.c file to write the application code. You can develop your own application code or use the reference code from the firmware catalog. Now let's see what other project settings we can choose. Please note that most of the default settings are correct for reference code. To change it, right-click the project and select Properties. Expand CC++ Build and select Settings. Now set the configuration to All Configurations. This will save the project settings for both debug and release mode. Select the target processor architecture used in your design, 32-bit or 64-bit. Go to GNU RISC-V Cross Compiler. Some default paths may be already present. Click on the plus sign and click on Workspace to add additional paths containing header files used in your embedded firmware design. Expand GNU RISC-K Cross-C linker and select General. Now click on the plus button and select Workspace. You will need to add mpfslim.ld to add the linker file. Then click OK. Expand GNU RISC-V Cross-Create Flash Image and select General. Now make sure that the Output File Format option is set as Intel Hex. Finally, select Apply and Close. This will save the project settings. Make sure that you enable to build for release mode. Right-click SoftConsole Example, click on Build Configurations, next click on Set Active and Release. Now go to Project menu and click on the Build Project. This will build the entire project. You can see the output files softconsoleexample.hex and softconsole.elf in the Release dropdown. You can find the example designs in SoftConsole in the Workspace Examples folder. For more information and to download the SoftConsole tool, please visit the Microchip website.